Thank you for tuning in to our second video on preparing for the Affordable Care Act. In this video, we're going to show you how to update your employees en masse to their appropriate Affordable Care Act status using our bulk update utility. Prior to moving forward, I'd like to take a moment to remind you that you should have already identified the employee at your company that will be your ACA expert. That person should be watching this video. If you have not designated an employee to be your in-house expert, I suggest that you reach out to your benefits broker or third-party consultant for their expertise and advice. While we will be providing tools and reports to help you manage the Affordable Care Act, you will need to determine what to do with this information for your company. This includes, but is not limited to, items such as how an employee should be coded, what to do when an employee's status changes, and how your benefits plan may need to be adjusted based on information from our reports. Before we move forward to the bulk update utility, I'd like to go into the employee information section to show you a few things. When we click on employee information, we see our new employee hire wizard. Part of that wizard for several months has been the Affordable Care Act status drop-down box. Now, some of you have been coding employees as you move forward, and some of you have probably just skipped this status drop-down box altogether. Either way is fine, because we're going to show you how to update all of your employees today. I'm going to hop back into employee information and choose an employee. We'll look at Otis Anderson. And if we look at his ACA tab, you'll see that he does not have a status selected. When we're done updating all of our employees, we'll come back and check on this employee so you can see what his ACA status looks like. From the main menu, click on Company Setup. When you go to your company setup, you'll see that you have two ACA tabs. We'll handle the status update audit in a separate video. For now, we're going to focus on the bulk update. When we click on bulk update, the first thing I want to do is actually change our effective date to 1/1/2014. This will set our ACA status back to 1/1/2014 for every employee, except for those that were hired after 1/1/2014. The utility will automatically create their status start date to their actual hire date. If we change nothing from this screen, we're going to be looking at all the employees on our company. We have not filtered out any, so that means your active employees, your non-active employees, everybody is here. So if I scroll down, you'll see that we have all of our employees to look at. The goal of the update utility is to deal with employees in groups that we can easily identify as full-time, part-time, seasonal, or unknown. One thing you may want to do is look at your auto-paid employees and immediately look at your salaries. Hopefully we can identify that all of our employees on salary are full-time employees. For this purposes on this company, we're actually going to look at employee type. We've already coded all of our employees to full-time or part-time on this company. So when looking at all the full-time employees, we're going to click this box here. This will tag all of our employees, and then we can look at their ACA status tab and update it to full-time. Variable hour and seasonal. If we leave these as default, the check boxes on the employees tab will remain unchecked. If we switched it to yes, they would be checked. Because these employees are full-time, we're not going to mark them as variable hour or seasonal. I'll go ahead and save changes. The system tells us that we have 48 employees that have been updated, and now I can see that their ACA status is full-time, the start date is 1/1/2014, and the end date is forever. If I scroll to the bottom, we'll see a few employees that we hired later in the year, and the system automatically updated their start date to coincide with their hire date. We'll now move on to our part-time employees. Select all. We'll mark them as part-time. Save changes. 21 records have been updated. Again, all going back to 1/1. We had no new hires this year for them, so they're all going to be 1/1/2014. And our last group of employees are going to be our seasonal employees. We'll select all. Now, I'm going to say that I was not aware what their status would be because I actually want to track it to see what it should be. So I'm going to mark them as variable hour because they did not have set schedules and they were seasonal. Save changes. All three of our employees have been updated. Go back to main menu. We'll check a few employees. We look at employee information. We'll go check Otis Anderson. And we can see that now he has a full-time 30 hours or more a week, effective 1/1/2014. If we look at Raul Alegre, this was one of our seasonal employees who we marked as unknown because we want to track his status later. If we look at details, we can see his checkboxes for variable hour and seasonal have been checked because we marked them so during the import utility. that's really the end of this video. I suggest that you please watch our third video, which is going to show you how to audit this information. Thank you.